This is the NTCA Roundtable Live. Today is February 24th, 2021, and today we are here with NTCA's Vice President, Mr. Sam Bruce. Sam, I'd like to welcome you to the program today, and I'm glad you're here. We have a terrific audience here today to hear from you and to engage with you. And I just want to tell everyone in our audience, all of our attendees, that we are so glad you're spending time with Sam today. Sam has a terrific story to share with you. And I want you to know that you're able to unmute yourselves. You are able to turn on your camera. We'd love to see you. We'd love to see what you're up to. And we'd love to have you chat with Sam. So if you have a question for Sam, or if you'd want to join in the conversation with Sam, just unmute yourselves and chime in, or you can raise your hand the old-fashioned way, or you can use the chat screen. And Rob Roderick and I will try to monitor that and get your question or your comment over to Sam. So Sam, without further delay, hello, sir. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here, and I just want to say welcome to everybody for joining in. If there's anything that you get out of today is, just like any NTCA event that I attend or industry event, hopefully there's something you can get out of it and maybe, take back to your company and make yourselves better.
Absolutely. Sam, can you tell us a little bit about your company, your history in tile, your personal history, your family's history? I know you've got a lot of community involvement. There's so many things going on with you in Visalia Ceramic Tile. Where did we start?
My background, I was actually born into the business. I'm a third generation, in the tile industry. My grandpa, started our company. My mom had me when she was very young, and I went to work with her, the day that we got back from the hospital. So, but anyways, I going from there, I could remember the first time that, I learned how to use a tile saw. I think I was 6 years old, and I was proud of myself that, I could make a straight cut with a 4x4 tile. And then, they just kind of carried on to that. I have a lot of family that's, I work with. When I was 8 or 9, I was going onto job sites with my uncles. And, during the summer, I'd go out there with them. And, the best job I ever worked on was up in the mountains, where I worked half the day, and the rest of the day I'd go fishing. So it was fun for me. And, those are the things that I'll never forget. But during those times, I learned how to chop mud, use a cutting board, grout, mix materials. And, I really thought I was contributing when they put about a quarter ways of a bucket of mud, and I hauled it in. I thought I made it by that time. So it was a great way to grow up, great way to just learn the industry. And, from that point, I've basically held just about every position that you can in the tile industry. I've customer service, warehousing. I did work for Bedrosian's Tile for about a year, my first year in college. And, and it just grew from that. Today, I'm the president of the company. And, just hopefully that, I'm expanding on what foundation that has been left here, by my generations past.
Sam, I've had the privilege of meeting some of those generations past. I know your uncles. I know some of your other family members. They're all great people. You have a tremendous family and employee work ethic, and you're all about having fun at work and even when you're not at work, and enjoying life. How does that help? How do you get that? Where does that come from?
It really starts from the leaders of the company. Like I'm just for example, when I used to go to work with my uncles, my uncle Robbie, he made everything fun. Everything was a challenge. A lot of the people that are here today, that's been here, 20 plus years, I worked with when I was, a young kid. And I mean, I don't know, a great story. There's Leo Reynaga, who just won the Tile Craftsman of the Year. He talks about when he was 18 years old, when he came to work for us. After the first couple of days of work, he was like, man, I don't want to work that hard. And tomorrow I'm going to tell Robbie that I quit. And he said he'd get to work, and he forgot to tell him because he had so much fun. Then he got his first paycheck. And he's like, wow, this is great. So, and, here 25 years later, he wins the award for that. And that's just kind of a good example of, what we do, and loving what we do. And just making sure that people, who want to be here are here. And if not, that's okay too. There's a place for everybody.
It really does show. And, I did some posting about this program coming up on Facebook, and some of your comments about this post coming in were, what a terrific company, a great place to work. Sam is a great guy. All of those things that anybody would want to hear about themselves or their company. And one of the comments I saw was, not only is it about all that, but it's about a tremendous product for your customer and your clients as well. So it really comes across and pays off for you too, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. We've kind of developed a motto, a slogan, years ago. It was surpassing industry standards. This is before we were really involved in the NTCA. But that surpassing industry standards to us have meant, so many different things. Not only are we going to give you a great product, not only are we going to do things right, technically, but how we operate in our company, who we are as professionals. That's one thing that, that's probably what, surpassing industry standards means the most to us is everybody that works at Visalia Ceramic Tile, they are held to a high standard. They are professionals, and we did not want the stigma or anything like that of what people consider a construction worker. We are professionals. We provide for our families, and we just want to offer those avenues so people can provide for their families and do what they want to do in life. So
every tile industry professional knows that there's a lot to tile. It's not easy. It's hard work. It requires a lot of skills and information and education. How many employees do you have in your company?
Currently we have 143 employees. I wrote all this down because I thought that would be asked, but about 113 of them are actually on the installation side. So we do offer residential and commercial installations as well as granite fabrication. And granite fabrication is something that's been more recent for us in the last 7 or 8 years, but that's growing tremendously as well. So we do installation services all over California. Residentially, we kind of stay a little closer to home, unless there's these big custom houses in Santa Barbara, Monterey, or other places that we could venture out and offer that service. But yeah, so we've grown. About 6 or 7 years ago, we were at 70 employees. So during that time, we've pretty much doubled, and coincidentally, that's about the same time where we really became involved in the NTCA. So I do believe that has had a big impact on our growth and the way we grow as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about, well, when did your company start? If you already said that, can you say that again? And tell us about how you got it started with the NTCA.
Okay, so And my grandpa, who started the company, he was a tile contractor. Um, the closest place for him to get tile was an hour away. So he'd drive to get tile, come back and install it. So in 77, he actually opened the first distributor and retail company of tile in Tulare County, which is where we're located. And, so from there, he had 11 kids. So I have, 10 aunts and uncles, and then my mom. Those kids started growing up and they were working for other tile contractors. Well, in 1985, he went back to contracting, and all his sons came back to install tile. And that's when Visalia Ceramic Tile was created. And, so we're 35 years in the business, and we've just kind of, grown from there. But as far as like family members, we have about 25 family members that still work for us. And, that's, it's a team effort. Everything is a team effort. And to make those things work, it takes some work, but it's also the biggest thing is respect for each other, and how you work, through, difficult times or, problems. And there's a lot more better times than there are worse times. That's for sure.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a picture that I grabbed off of your website. There's a picture of what your business looks like. And, I've been there a couple of times. We've had a lot of fun with you, and that's quite an operation you've got there. Can you tell us a little bit about, some of the things that support your business, but aren't necessarily tile related directly? I know you work on your own trucks even, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have a fleet of about 80 vehicles, maybe just a little under that. One of the things that we do and that we've always wanted to do is we wanted to provide everybody with an avenue to come do their job and grow and be successful. Early on, we found that there are things that stop people from showing up to work or stop people from going out of town to do a project. So, we provide all of our crews with vehicles, with gas cards, so that's an expense that, people don't have to worry about. Because of that, we now, we do have a portion of our warehouse dedicated to a maintenance facility for the vehicle. So we do about 99% of everything that can be done on a vehicle that may need to be fixed right here in-house. It's efficient. We do, maintenance on all the vehicles, replacing of parts, replacing of at sometimes engines just to get the truck back on the road. But that's one aspect. We have a training facility, and that's pretty much came, since joining the NTCA, we saw the value in that. We have a federally approved apprenticeship program that we have sent 15 tile finishers through, and they've graduated. Working on our next 4 currently. But we have dedicated all this different space that does support, our operations, our growth, and how we go out and, give a superior product.
It really does all add up to excellence and success. So back to the NTCA and your company's involvement with NTCA and your personal involvement. And everybody, I've got a number of questions for you, Sam, and other people might have questions as well. So everybody listening, feel free to raise your hand, or if you'd like to put something in the chat screen and we'll get your question over to Sam. We're talking with Sam Bruce, President of Visalia Ceramic Tile and Vice President of the National Tile Contractors Association today. So Sam, your involvement with NTCA, you're the vice president. Your company became a member at some point in time. Can you tell us a little bit about, among all those amazing things your company does, how does NTCA involvement help your company, and how do you operate with the NTCA? What is your role?
Yeah, so in 1992, we became members of the NTCA, and for you know, I don't know, 20 plus years, we, pretty much just paid our dues and didn't have, much involvement at all. In 2013, just through meeting different people in the industry, we started to get more involved. People such as like Mark Shannon, Mary Yoakum, Martin, actually. Martin was one of the first ones as well. They started telling us, just more what the NTCA does, becoming a 5-star contractor, basically telling us that, we already were, we just needed to get certified. So those are the things that kind of like got us involved. And we've kind of never looked back. It's been such a huge benefit. For a long time, all we did was we had great installers, but the training was all done in the field. And how long it took to get a person from a finisher to a setter, sometimes it was a long process, just because people were doing things but really didn't understand why they were doing them. So until that actually clicked with them, that's when a transition started happening with training, and that we've implemented since 2013 with our apprenticeship program. It's kind of like fast tracked a lot of people, because now they actually understand what they're doing. The program we have is directed towards finishers. Finishers are going back out with tile setters, and kind of at times showing them, hey, this is why we do that. This is why we do this. So the things that we've gained from the NTCA, the ideas that we brought back from conventions, from meetings, from trainings, whatever it was, those are the things that really propelled us to be, even better than maybe, what we already were. And it just creates more for our employees, even, and our people that work for us. So that's been one of the best things about NTCA since joining. My role as vice president now, it started, as just joining committees. John Cox, no, I'm sorry, not John Cox, John Wirtz out of San Diego, kind of, we've kind of connected, and he was like, he brought me over to some committees, and then next thing you know, he was saying, hey, take over my position as board of director. I think he pretty much reeled me in, but it was just showing up, being involved, those things that put, kind of me and our company in a place to learn and to give back, or kind of got me where I am today. And currently I'm also, I'm also a co-chair of the training and education committee. So, those things are, just, continue to happen.
It's a lot of investment in time, but it sounds like there's a lot of terrific payoff for everyone involved.
Yeah, definitely.
We do have a few questions from the attendees in the chat screen, and I'm just going to take them from top to bottom as they came in. We have a comment here from a fellow SOB, or son of the boss, as Cody Cox would call himself, I guess. Hi, Cody. Thanks for being here again. And we've got some comments about, you spoke the truth about Uncle Robbie, for sure. And Bart Bediga has a question. He's asking, Sam, with the market changing, is Visalia looking into other divisions like LVT, wood, epoxy floors, care and maintenance divisions, terrazzo, carpet, and on and on? Are you looking at any other, that type of growth with your company?
Currently, we are not. It's been a topic of discussion, the last 2 or 3 years, just because of the presence of those other products. Our biggest holdback with something like that is our guys are skilled, they are trained, If we were to go, in that direction, it would almost like we'd have to start from scratch and build that, with people outside of what we already have, just because the labor market is different. Can we do it? Yes. Can we be competitive? I don't know. I'm not sure, not with what we have now. So currently, no, we're not doing that. Are the things that we have added, to our services, over the last 10 years has been granite fabrication. And that's where our focus is on growth as well as the tile. That's been, wonderful for us. And like currently we are looking to build a new granite facility operation. So right now we're in about 5,000 feet. And we're looking to go to, something around 20,000 feet, to expand that.
Yeah, you do have a full granite fab shop there, and you're looking at expanding that as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, great. Bart, hopefully that answers your question. Your business, you're a fairly large business, 143 employees and covering the entire state of California. That's a big deal. Do you have any message that you and with your involvement with NTCA, you can send to smaller tile contractors looking to grow their business? Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, I think in our industry, I think growth comes from proper training. Just for example, we have hired installers in the past, to grow, to fill a need. And, you don't always get what you're expecting or get maybe, what your standard may be. Training from within, I think has been the most successful for us. But that does mean that, you are starting from scratch. It may be a little bit longer of a process, but what you're going to get. You need to find somebody that, is willing to work hard and, willing to learn and put in the effort. That's been the most consistent and just successful growth for us. NTCA offers these programs that, it kind of fast tracks on how that can happen. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So there are things out there that that is available to you if you are wanting to grow, whether you're large, small, or whatever.
NTCA does have a lot of programs, and we'll get to those in just a minute. We'll get to NTCA training opportunities and certifications. I know you have a lot of certified tile installers there. Well, let's get to those in a minute. But first of all, and Jim Olson, thank you for that question. From Will White, he's got a very interesting question here. Have you thought about electric vehicle, EV fleet vehicles?
No, I have not yet. I have talked to some people just in other industries that are moving that direction. I know here in California, that is a direction that the state is going. So I think in time, that may be something that, we have to start, paying attention to and looking at. Right now we have we have a fleet of Chevy GMC 3500s, and they're workhorses. They carry a lot of weight. They put on a lot of miles, and those things are lasting us 300,000 miles. So the success we've had with those has not really made us look anywhere else at this point. But I think that there's going to be a time in California we're going to have to.
Isn't Tesla headquartered out there? You could get all those cool looking Tesla trucks on your fleet.
They're close, but I think they're going to Texas now.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about training again, and training and education and some of those NTCA programs. I know Rob and I have been out there doing some programs with you. I think we did some gauge porcelain installation, maybe some substrate prep classes. And you pretty much shut down a lot of business to bring as many employees as you could into that training opportunity.
Mhm.
So can you talk a little bit about the importance of investing in training for your employees? Full days of training, sending them, paying them to come to that training, the investment in them, and why that's such an important return.
Yeah, so we currently, well, minus COVID, we were training, had training days about 2 or 3 times per year. And it did shut down our operations for, a day when we did that. But we, sometimes it would go, we would lead into new products, new methods, all sorts of different things. Sometimes it's just get everybody updated on CPR. Um, but some of the things that we do were to make sure that we still continue to deliver a top-notch product. If we're using new materials, people need to know what they're doing. Sometimes we had to go over a refresher because we had a job problem, something that wasn't used right or wasn't done right. We're not perfect, but fixing those problems is very important. And how you deal with those problems is very important. So it is very important to us, and the return on that is, hopefully less job issues and better prepared people out doing these installations. So it's so everybody is shares in that success. Um, we are actually have 2 days scheduled next week to do some refreshers and get people updated on certifications. So it is something that we continue to do and will continue to do.
I'm going to share this picture again here that I shared a minute ago. Can you tell us a little bit about what is happening in this picture?
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what the topic may be, but this was taken a few years ago. One of our training days, what we do is we separate people into groups. So if we have about 100 installers that are out, doing a training in one day, you're not going to learn very much by getting them all in one place and trying to teach something. So we'll separate them into groups of, 10 or 15, and, we'll have 5 different stations that people rotate around, the groups rotate. And, we're just going over processes, procedures, projects, or not project, products, or whatever it may be. So in this picture, it looks like somebody is, given some type of presentation of whatever topic it may be.
And you actually have a staff training coordinator, don't you?
Yes. So Ryan Barton, who is in this picture, he's actually my brother-in-law. He's a tile setter. He came in and took over our apprenticeship program when we got that set up. So he does all of our trainings. He's part of training days like this, and he's also our quality control coordinator. So he'll go out and look at jobs, make sure we are doing things the right way, and he's writing reports and making sure that the company is staying up to date and all of the newest things.
Yeah, that's outstanding. So he does your apprenticeship program. Can you tell us, as the NTCA Training and Education Committee co-chair, a little bit more about the NTCA's apprenticeship program and this other program we have, NTCA University?
Yeah, so the apprenticeship program is it's basically a basis or an outline of what has been approved federally for an apprenticeship program. There's about 30 hours of video, of topics, of different modules that has been put together, and these we use this as the foundation and as the basis of how we train when we put people through our apprenticeship program. So for example, there's, like I said, about 30 hours of video. The federally, to be federally approved, you have to have about 288 hours of training. So we've taken this foundation, taken a 15-minute video, and have now added another hour of training to it, basically using, okay, these are the products that we use, so this is how we are going to incorporate that portion of the training into it. And then we'll do some hands-on, we'll do some other stuff that all include, hours to get to that. And it's basically goes into more detail of everything that's already been there and created by the NTCA. As far as NTCAU, there's a lot of information in there that, for all kinds of staff, not just, installers, that, that you can learn about tile, you learn about financial things and other stuff that may help your business.
It actually starts, I think, with a history of tile and goes from there. And I'm sure you do this. I've seen some other NTCA member companies use that as routine training. It's video format, kind of self-paced, and a great program that our members can enroll in and use that to train their entire staff.
Yeah, when we hire a new person who's never been in this industry, we actually put them through a couple hours of those videos. That's like an introduction into tile. What are the tools? What is tile? So, before they set foot on a job, they kind of have a little bit of an idea of, what they're going into, the next day.
Yeah, great information there. So Jim Olson has a question. Jim?
So Sam, I typed this in, but my typing skills today aren't very good, and it doesn't even look anywhere near what I was trying to ask. So we've started a committee that's working on a mentorship, and I'm wondering if Visalia Tile would be willing to welcome other installers into your location to see how you lay it out, how you work, some of the things maybe to get an idea of how to grow and how to be successful like you have been. Is that something you'd be open to?
You know what? I think we'd be open to anything that's helping the industry. Just to take a walk through our building, and if that helps somebody get ideas on how they'd like to structure, that would be great. If it's installers that wanted to see how we do things and the way we work or anything else, I mean, I'd always be open to something like that, to help other people grow.
Cool. I'll be contacting you. Thank you.
Perfect.
And if I could just throw in there that he's not just saying that, because this is also an offer. He's a 5-star member, and one of our other 5-star members works quality. He's personally offered to have Victor come up to the location and take a look around. And there's actually multiple contractors in the 5-star group that within themselves have had those offers of try and peer group mentoring. And that's one of the key factors of being in that, smaller group where a lot of the contractors have that same culture of company, is that they're always trying to learn from others because they know that they have a certain way of doing things, but there's a lot to learn from other people. And so when he says that, he isn't just, saying it right now, he really does mean it. And we appreciate that. And that's part of what he brings to the table as a quality contractor, is wanting to help others.
Absolutely, Amber. That's Amber Fox, NTCA's 5-star contractor coordinator. And I'll echo that. Rob and I have the privilege of meeting with many of our quality members like Sam across the country and Visalia Tile. And when you visit them and they take you on that tour of their facility, like Sam just described, that's an eye-opening experience, and it really starts to click how you can get it done. So take them up on that opportunity. It's really a terrific offer. Sam?
And I want to add to that too is, I do mention the word grow, but growth can mean a lot of different things. It doesn't mean, you have to increase your size of installation crew or anything else. It's growth, within, just making yourself better and making your company better.
Yeah, it sure is. Personal growth, so important, and that helps us all. We never stop learning. Uh, and speaking of never stopping learning, another tile industry recognized thing that Visalia Tile is all about is the Certified Tile Installer Program from the Ceramic Tile Education Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that has helped VCT?
Yeah, so it's done a lot of different things that's benefited Visalia Ceramic Tile. So we have 31 certified tile installers, which we're very proud of. I think the first certification we did, 20 installers passed the test, and I think only one may have not have. So we're very proud about that. But what I think the biggest thing that it does, it gives our people who do go out and install a sense of self-worth. They have something that's theirs, and there's a lot that comes out of that. I see people take a lot of growth after getting that, because they could become more confident. They become just more involved in what they're doing, and they start raising the notch of being a professional and raising the bar of their skill.
It sure does. It's a terrific thing. It's a license to learn in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And highly respected. Okay, great. And there's also, I just want to bring up that there's a next level of certification called Advanced Certification for Tile Installers, or ACT, that the Ceramic Tile Education Foundation offers. So that would be the next step of industry recognized certification. Sam, I've got a more business related question again here from Bart Bettiga. Do you feel strongly about utilizing employees versus subcontracting labor? Or do you at times use subcontract labor to fill your backlog and stay on schedule?
So we've never used subcontract labor. We have hired, outside people to come work for us, that were not necessarily permanent. That success was just, kind of okay. But when we use subcontract labor, we're not, our business is not set up to do that. We are structured differently. We wouldn't have the same type of control of the outcome of the product if we did that, so we don't do it. We don't necessarily have project managers. We have, tile setters. Every single one of our tile setters knows how to run a job, knows how to use other crews when they get sent out there. And, in turn, they are the project manager for the site. So, to use a subcontract labor is just not been something we ever thought about doing or wanted to do, just because we didn't feel like we would have the right control of the product.
I can understand that. From Chris Walker, our current past president of the NTCA. And Chris, I'm going to make sure that I understand your question correctly. And Chris, by the way, is multitasking right now. He's on an ANSI committee meeting simultaneously. So Sam, he wanted to be here for you, and he wanted to ask you this question. How has construction of pods, have you done any construction of pods? And how has that impacted your facility, PODS?
We have not done any construction of pods. I may ask Chris to kind of like give me a definition of what he exactly means by that. But from what I understand, a pod is just something that's being dropped down into a place and is pretty much built out. But no, we have not done anything like that. We are in the Central Valley of California, which is usually about 2 years behind all the big cities. So although we may work in some of those cities, everything usually comes to us, a lot later than what it may hit somewhere else.
Chris, if you're able, please let us know if we didn't answer that question. And if anybody can explain pods more, jump on in. Isaac Lopez, who's on here, he's working for Visalia Ceramic Tile, and he wanted to point out that in that picture of training we showed, they were talking about waterproofing membranes, and they were using, in particular, RedGuard was the topic that day in the picture. You talked about training based on specific products and manufacturer instructions and tile industry standards. That's what you guys train on, right?
That is correct. Some just to add to that, we've actually had days, and thank you to Customs Building Products, but they've brought a team of their guys in to train some of those those stations that we had, and it was all their products that we are being trained on. So we were getting good training right from the source. So that's great.
Okay. Chris Walker says, yeah, you got the question right. He, in his company, they have bids in for hospital and hotel pods. As an example, the hospital bathroom is complete to the drain assembly and connected. Pretty impressive.
Wow. Pretty impressive.
Okay.
And now I know what's coming.
Get ready. Give Chris Walker a call and he'll help you out.
Yeah.
Jim Olson is wondering if Visalia Tile would be, Jim, do you want to ask Sam your question? Jump in there and ask Sam your question.
That was the question I already asked him.
Okay.
I couldn't understand the question.
Okay, that's the one. There was a little down on my list. Sorry about that. Will White has put a link in the chat screen if everybody wants to look at that. Will White from Custom Building Products. And that is a link about pods. So if you're interested, curious about these pods, there's a link there. Thank you for doing that, Will. Appreciate that. Ron Nash from Ladecrete is saying he's seeing a massive rise in off-site construction, particularly in wall tile systems. Have you looked into that at all, Sam?
So we do some off-site construction. There is a company that's locally or local to us that will go into their warehouse and pre-manufacture and do some work there. Then they go and it's usually for schools, and then they'll go and drop that building off, but nothing that's being built on like on hotels and things like that. But no, it sounds very interesting, and definitely going to be looking for more information about it.
Fantastic. So Sam, we talked about a lot of things so far. We talked about the great personality of your company, the pride and professionalism, and how that leads to terrific installations for your customers and clients, and very few callbacks because your employees care so much and they're trained so well. And we've talked about how you get them trained and certified and just really involved in the tile industry. You also, I know, have a huge involvement with your community. Can you tell us a little bit about VCT and your community involvement? Where does that come from?
Well, it all starts with my grandpa, who started the business. He lived across the street from the Tulare Little League Park. So he loved sports. He was actually a great high school football player, was going to go play in college, broke his leg, never went. However, he was very involved in this youth sports. He built a batting cage, at his house on his property, right across the street from the Tulare Little League Park. So, from that, there became a schedule. All the Little League teams would come in, use the facility before their games or as a practice. And sometimes she was feeding them as well. So, it all started with that. And we've always just been really involved with youth sports in general. About 15 years ago, we moved to our current location. And part of that move was we're building a basketball court in our facility. So we basically built it large enough and, left a footprint to do that. And now we have a full court basketball court. Sometimes I like to call it my office, but, I wish I could get out there more. But we have high school teams that come use it for practices. We have with the growth of charter schools, they come and play their home games here. Youth sports, youth teams use it for practices. And we also use it for like youth soccer. A lot of my kids' teams will come in and do their training in here. So, that's our way of giving back. We've had youth leagues in here. We've had a lot of different things that we've been able to use that facility for. We're proud of that, and it's our way of giving back.
It's really impressive. And when all of you take Sam up on his offer to visit, you'll see just what he's talking about. That is like a high school sized gymnasium they've got there. Locker rooms, the whole 9 yards. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin Ford wants to get back to the discussion about all the different types of tile installations. He's asking, how do you stay efficient with so many types of installs nowadays? Do you have separate crews that specialize in different types of installs, or is everyone trained to know how to do all of them or just any of them?
When we actually get somebody into the position of a tile setter, we'd like them to know, pretty much everything, 80 to 90% of all applications. There still is a lot to learn, and there's always a lot to learn. But we definitely have guys that are, more efficient in certain areas compared to others. And we'll try to put people in those places so that, they have the most success. Sometimes when we feel somebody needs extra training in a certain type of application, we'll get that crew, that tile setter and his finisher, we'll get them, with another crew that, may be really good at that, or maybe working on that type of project that day. Those are the things that, as we're constantly doing to, keep our efficiencies, together. We have unfortunately, kind of unfortunate event. We have a guy who had knee surgeries about 2 years ago, and he's never really recovered for them. So we've turned him into our backsplash guy, and he's the most efficient backsplash guy that, that we have. We'll send other guys out to do a backsplash, and they can't even, really keep up with his pace. So, we try to put people in the best places, for success. But there's always that extra training we're trying to do as well to get somebody, to where they have to be. Just keeping up with efficiencies as well. We do require daily reports to come in just to make sure, that we are, meeting our goals, and, are doing things, the right way.
Outstanding information, Sam. That's great. Going back to the topic of sports, I've got one more question for you here, and then I think we'll segue over to our Ask the Ref game, unless anybody else has any questions. And we will come back after our Ask the Ref game and summarize with Sam. But this question is from Jim, and he wants to talk about horseshoe tournaments. What do you know about those?
Horseshoe tournaments. Well, all those trophies are horseshoe tournament trophies over there. But our family, just for whatever reason, I don't know how, but we got into horseshoes. And there's a couple fundraisers that happen every year for a church, and for some other things, that they throw a horseshoe tournament, and it actually becomes pretty big money. These fundraisers raise a lot of money. It's a great fun day of some food and drinks, and it led us to start our own horseshoe tournament. So I think we're on our 5th or 6th annual horseshoe tournament. And what a day. It's about, you'll get anywhere from 150 to 200 people out there, and it is something that we do to give back to family, friends, customers, and even a lot of our vendors go out there as well, and to show our appreciation. That's what we do. It's a fun day. Crab, frog legs, tacos, a roasted pig, you name it. It's a fun thing, and I've been trying to get a couple of you guys out here, but hasn't happened yet.
Hey, if you haven't been out there yet, and I see Rob Roderick nodding his head, if you haven't experienced it,
Yeah.
you
I'm
better
going
get
for
a
the
lot of
party.
rest.
I'm going for the party and the food.
Yeah, it's I mean, we usually only have about anywhere from 80 to 100 players, but it doubles that in size of like families go out there. It's always a family event for us. Anything we do this family. So my kids are out there, other kids are out there, you know, husbands, wives, people just go to hang out. It's a great time.
It's amazing, especially the frog legs and all that other food, and then everything else. Get rest before you go, because you're going to be tired when you're done. So, Sam, we do have a couple of other questions here before we segue. If somebody is looking to work for Visalia Ceramic Tile, can they apply? How do you apply to your business for a job?
Yeah, so the best way to apply for us is you call and schedule an appointment. We don't do online applications. We don't let applications go out. One of the first things that we want to know is, can you make an appointment? Can you be there on time? Because that's so important in what we do. If we're gonna tell a customer that we're gonna be there by 7, we want to make sure you can be here by 6:30 so we can be there by 7. So that's, I guess that's kind of one of the first tests, but call, schedule an appointment, and the applications are done in-house.
Terrific. Thanks for that. And your phone number's on your website, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. One last question here for now from Woody Sanders. Sam, what type of field software are you using if you are to move construction documents and filed reports if you are? Woody, I hope I'm getting that across right. Are you using the type of software to transfer reports to the field and back to the home office?
Right now, we are not. Everything is done through phone calls or text, or maybe a written out document. Picture taken of it. But we have looked at our software, accounting and construction software that we use is called Pro Contractor, and it does pretty much everything from accounting to payroll to a field application. We haven't quite got that far with it yet. Don't know if we will, but because everything does work out great for us now. One thing that we have implemented or are in the process of implementing is the Busy software, which was something that I got from a seminar or a Zoom call from NTCA. Busy is a timekeeping software, and that we've already seen that is going to be a really good program, and something that we could possibly use for the future for different field reports as well.
Outstanding. Great job. I think, Woody, did we get your question answered there? Yeah, great. Thanks, Woody, from DW Sanders Tile there in Marietta, Georgia.
And if I could interject with the Busy, because I talk with them all the time with one of our programs for the membership, but we're going to be doing a training. It's a specific on California because of our break laws and different information. Busy has a specific part to help you stay compliant, because California definitely has some additional hurdles that a lot of the country doesn't have to deal with. And I'm going to be doing a reach out to all of the contractors that are in California and let them know about this specific training. Whether you're interested in the program or not, it will be educational because it will teach you about staying compliant and what is needed of you. And then, of course, the Busy will show you how their digital program makes that easier on you. But it's good educational information, whether you're using that program or not. So if you're in California, I'll be sending that out, and then we'll probably put it on our YouTube so that anybody across the nation could jump on and see in case it's something that's going to come their way or not. A lot of places don't have those same regulations.
Thank you, Amber, for that. All right, John Roberts, I think we got your question answered about the number of CTIs. They have 31 people on staff, installers that are CTI certified. That's terrific. If you've thought of any questions for Sam, now's our last few minutes that we get to spend with this amazing leader in our tile industry. Please go ahead and, you can unmute yourself or put them in the chat screen. And if not, Sam, what do you have for us for any parting words of wisdom for today?
Well, I'd just like to say, I'm so appreciative of the NTCA, what it's been able to do for me and, our company over here, Visalia Ceramic Tile, the relationships that, I've built over the last, 7-8 years is pretty amazing. People are amazing. And I think that to me is the biggest thing that I've gotten out of the NTCA. I've been able to meet so many different people in the industry and learn from so many people. Hopefully, somebody can learn something from me as well. But every time I go to an event where I get a chance to be around all of you guys is something that I'm excited for, and I learn something every time. So thank you to everybody for being here, and thank you for the impact that you made on me.
Sam, thank you. Terrific job. We have a whole host of comments coming in thanking you for doing such a great job and being here today. Gabriel Zamora says hi from Southern California.
Hi, Gabe.
Debbie Barton says hi.
Hey, everybody. I want to make one comment about the first time I met Sam. It was at TSP, and him and his sister Debbie came. And from that point on, there was a true bond between their family and the NTCA family and myself personally. And they're fantastic people. And I guarantee I'm speaking for Sam when I say, if you have a question, if you have anything you'd like to ask Visalia Tile or Sam, don't hesitate to contact him. He's there for you. And I can't thank you enough. You are a fantastic company. We have so many of them, and you're just another one of them that leads the way. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Very special congratulations from your mother, Sam. She said you did a great job, and she loves all the NTCA people. Thank you for being here, Karen. Can we let Debbie say a few words? Debbie, can you unmute and say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm in the restaurant, so I don't know if you can hear me, but everybody heard this whole interview that's here. So now everybody knows who NTCA and Visalia Ceramic Tile is.
Aren't you supposed to be at work?
No, I'm bringing you back lunch.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Debbie. Okay. Tune in next time. We're going to have this chat with the incredible Matt Wellner from the other coast. Sam, thank you very much. Thanks for everybody today. And we'll see you next time on NTCA Roundtable Live.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.